Hi everyone and welcome back to the Running Engineer channel. 2024, it's been an incredible year. I've run more than 3,000 kilometers. I trained for 349 days and I'm excited to share my running recap with you. Despite life's ups and downs and a few injuries along the way, I came out stronger, snagging 2 personal bests in both the full marathon and half marathon. In this video, I'll walk you through my monthly training highlights, the obstacles I faced, and the critical changes I made that set me up for success. Training for a marathon is never easy, especially when you're juggling work, travel, and family. My primary goal for 2024 was to break my personal best in the marathon and ideally go sub 2 hours and 50 minutes. 2024 was made up of 2 phases. The first phase up until the Zurich Marathon at the end of April. The second phase from June onward, when I changed coach and embraced a new training philosophy. Both phases had unique challenges. The first part of the year demanded high mileage in cold temperatures with plenty of long runs and interval sessions. Then, just when I thought I was peaking for Zurich, a business trip to the US threw a wrench at my recovery. In May, I reflected on what I needed to change in order to break the sub 2 hours and 50 minutes. I switched coach after 10 years and began focusing on an 80-20 approach. 80% easy run, 20% fast runs. The shift demanded trust and a willingness to step outside of my comfort zone, but it paid dividends. Let's break down each month. I'll highlight some key workouts from each month that illustrate my progress and setbacks throughout the year. You find all the chapters down below. Let's start from January. 319 kilometers, heavy mileage and quality workouts in preparation for the Zurich Marathon at the end of April. A couple of key highlights workouts, interesting ones. The first one was on the 12th of January, an easy run 3 kilometers plus a tempo run, which is kind of marathon pace for me, 16 kilometers. I felt unstoppable today. Easy run in the first part, 4 minutes 40 seconds per kilometer, and then 3 minutes and 48 seconds per kilometer at 165 beats per minute. That was amazing, perfect. Where do I sign for this more? It was a great response from my body. Second highlight of the month, on the 21st of January, long run 5 kilometers plus easy run 5 kilometers plus tempo run 20 kilometers. 30 kilometers total minus 10 degrees Celsius. That was not an easy one, but I managed to pull it out and I felt great, to be honest. Good heart rate, good pace throughout the entire session. Was really happy, a great signal towards the marathon. Then we moved to February, 252 kilometers and probably the best month pre-Zurich. I felt strong, I felt committed, and that was reflected as well in the outcome of the training. 3 key sessions for February. On Wednesday the 14th, 12 times 1000 meters threshold on the track recovery 1 minute. This is a very typical workout for me. The key part is to push but not too hard on the threshold intervals. It's threshold, so you need to stay at a comfortable pace, well, comfortable being threshold, but still like not pushing to the maximum. You don't have to go to zone 5, see what I mean? You need to stay in zone 4 and keep a steady pace. And this is what I did. If you look at the laps, like 344, 342, 340, 342, 41, 42, etc. So very constant in the pace, and it was not a crazy pace for me, exactly on the threshold, were very well executed. The second one, always in February, was an easy run, was on Sunday, so marathon prep training focus. Easy run 4 kilometers, then 3 times tempo run 6 kilometers plus threshold 1 kilometer. This is an advanced training. This is really specific for marathon, where you train at marathon pace or even faster than marathon pace, and you develop the ability to run fast, run at tempo run at marathon pace with a lot of kilometers in your legs already for the day. Top training, excellent HR, down in the tempo run section, the heart rate, the threshold I pushed hard, I could have gone on more. If you look at the laps, I started at 4:37, then 3:59, the 6 kilometers at 161 beats per minute, then 3:31 the 1K, then back at the tempo run 3:59, 162, and so on and so forth. I was really impressed about the heart rate as well in this training. That again gave me a really good signal to say yes, the 2 hours and 50 minutes, which means essentially running a marathon at about 4 minutes per kilometer, is doable. Last session for February, a wow session. 4 times 1000 meters recovery, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't recall the last time I was running so fast. So this is different from the previous one, from the threshold one. This is where you really need to push hard, right? And to go fast on the repetition because you have an extended recovery, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 3:20, 3:15, 3:13, 3:14 and 3:18. Wow. I felt great. It came out, I wouldn't say easy, but I was not forcing the pace. It was just becoming natural, so I was really happy about that. Again, great signal towards the marathon. March, 276 kilometers. This was the month of the marathon specific test, and I had some hits and some misses. March 3rd, I failed test marathon 30 kilometers. I talk about that in this video. It's in Italian, but you can use the subtitles. Great pace, great HR, but the shoes killed. I used my old Nike Vaporfly and they completely killed my legs. So I had to stop. After 30 kilometers, I couldn't push more. So it was a good signal, but it had an impact on my legs for a couple of days. So it was not really a successful test in my view. And then on my birthday, the 23rd of March, I finally made it. Very great test, low heart rate, in full control for all the length of the training. 3 minutes and 58 seconds per kilometer average pace at 160 beats per minute. That is perfect. That is exactly what I needed to do for the marathon, right? I know that if I stay in the 160 beats per minute range, I'm still in the zone 3. So I can manage that for a full marathon for 42 kilometers. If my heart rate goes too high, 165 and above, then I'm in trouble because I'm getting in zone 4 and it's challenging for me to keep that pace for a long marathon. So all the signals was positive, but there is always a but in life. After this training, I traveled to the US, stayed there for a week and then another travel as well. And I struggled with recovery after that US business trip. I'll give you an example. April 5th, easy run, 5K, plus tempo run 13K, still high heart rate. If you look at the laps, 4 minutes and 7 seconds per kilometer, 165. So you can see the difference versus the one that I did on Sunday, the 23rd of March, my birthday, when I was running at sub 4 minutes per kilometer at 160 beats per minute. So that was a challenge. That was not the only one. I had multiple training like this, so essentially I arrived at the marathon with fatigue. I paid the price there. 21st of April, Zurich Marathon, tough conditions, 0 degrees Celsius, snow, ice, and I made a new personal best, 2 hours, 52 minutes and 26 seconds. I made again the full recap here, is in Italian, but you can use the subtitles there. 3 minutes faster than my old personal best. Didn't break the 2 hours and 50 minutes barrier, but I was happy. I was proud of myself for pushing through the challenges. The weather, also the fact that I arrived tired and I really had to stretch myself. May, 250 kilometers was the month of reflection and changes for me. I realized I needed a new approach to break the 2 hours and 50 minutes wall. I created my vision, mission and objectives that I shared with everyone in order to achieve that objective. And one of the biggest changes I made was to switch coaches. After more than 10 years, I scouted for a couple of coaches and I selected Andrea Gornati, who is a great coach, great friend, and to be honest, is one of the best decisions I've made. Highlight of the month, the run in San Francisco from the ferry building to the Golden Gate Bridge and back. It was an incredible day, sunny, clear, it was just magic. Iconic. I loved every step of that run, and this is probably one of the reasons why I love running that much, is that you can experience incredible routes and incredible scenes. 281 kilometers, this is the new beginning. This is when I started training again for marathons with the new coach and with the new approach 80-20, 80% in zone 2 easy run, very easy runs, 20% hard. I started very slow, lower boundary of zone 2 for more than a month. I didn't want to push, I want to build up my engine because I know this is something that I lack, right? And this is where I needed to change as well, to focus more on zone 2 training than zone 3. Couple of highlights here. June 16th, this is a good example, a long run, 21 kilometers, hilly with ups and downs, perfect zone 2. 4 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometer at 141 beats per minute. Very nice considering as well the ups and downs and the hilly part. Second example, June 19th, this is This is the 20%. This is the push hard and go hard. Hills, 15 times 100 meters, recovery 100 meters. This is probably one of the toughest training I did in the full year. Hills for me are really, really tough. I was born on a flat land in Italy, and to me, like, going uphill is really challenging. Plus these 15 times, it's only 100 meters, but the gradient was 14%. It's a ramp that I have really close by my place here in Zurich. So really, really challenging, but this gives you an idea, right? Go slow and go fast. July, 319 kilometers, mileage up, training up, increasing volume while maintaining the 80-20 balance. I really loved July, it was a great month for me. 3 key sessions. The first one on the 3rd of July, intervals, 10 times 600 meters, about 3 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometer, recovery 2 minutes. I always run slow, but run during the recovery. Well done. Great control. If you look at the laps, very, very regular, 2-4, 2-3, and then I accelerated a bit, but still like very, very demanding, but I was in control all the time. I could have done even a couple of more, so really proud of this training. July 19th, another interval training, 15 times 300 meters, recovery 200 meters. Also here, always in control, never push too hard, based on feelings more than watch. I was working as well, as you've seen from my objectives, on my correct running form, so improving my running form, because I noticed that during the marathon, but even before, I was overstriding a lot, so I had to work on my running form, running technique, in order to be more efficient at running. And finally, July 28th, on holiday in Crete, Greece. Again, easy run, 19 kilometers. There were it was really hilly. I struggled a bit at the start, ups and downs, but then great last kilometers at 4 minutes 40 seconds, 140 BPMs. Again, really happy about this training as well, you know, considering that I was on holiday, and you know, the heart rate was really, really, really low, and just accelerated at the end, but without a serious impact on the heart rate. Very, very well done. And then comes August, only 162 kilometers, because I got injured. I pulled my right hamstring on August the 7th. It was a serious injury, but not dramatic. And throughout physiotherapy, I was able to recover. Ended up the month, August 25th, easy run, 15th kilometer. Good feelings, HR okay. So I was recovering, not pushing too hard, not doing any interval training, but just ramping up mileage and checking my right hamstring for any bad feeling, which fortunately I didn't have. September, 276 kilometers is when I started the new training program. Goal: marathon sub 2 hours and 50 minutes, Milan City Marathon, 6th of April 2025. I gradually reintroduced intensity in this month and volumes as well. Couple of good examples. 1st of September, easy run, 22 kilometers, hilly in the hills in Zurich, here in Zurich, 5 minutes and 5 seconds per kilometer pace, really, really good, and 137 beats per minute. Really happy about this training. And then the second one, an intense one, 10 times 400 meters, recovery only 1 minute, went well, run at 3:30, 3:20 per kilometer, no signals from the hamstring. This was an important test for me. I wanted to check if the hamstring was sending some signals when I was doing interval training. Luckily not, so I continued increase intensity and volume. 20th of September in Berlin, easy run 6 kilometers plus tempo run 5 kilometers per threshold 3 kilometers. This was not an easy one, it was very, very intense. If you look at the laps, easy one, the first part, like 5 minutes and 28 seconds per kilometer. Then on the tempo run, 4 minutes and 7 seconds per kilometer, but already at 170 beats per minute, too high. And then the threshold was really, really extreme. So this gave me a signal. I mean, nothing to be worried about, but where I still lack condition, of course. Like, it's gonna be like 6 months till the April, the new marathon in Milan. This is an area of improvement, you know, running at that pace with that high HR. And finally, end of September, a good example of zone 2 training, easy run, 14 kilometers at 4 minutes and 33 seconds per kilometer, plus a tempo run of 4 kilometers. Top training. If you look at the laps, the first 14 kilometers, 4 minutes and 33 seconds per kilometer at 146 beats per minute, and then really impressed by the tempo run, 3 minutes and 59 seconds per kilometer, 161 beats per minute. This is what I want to see this is what I need for the marathon, for running a marathon sub 2 hours 15. You see how the zone 2 training is paying off, right? Run slow, and then it helps build that endurance engine. October was a fantastic month, 369 kilometers. I've never run so long in any month in my entire career of 20 plus years of running. Big volume, but also quality workout. This is where I started really pushing. 3 examples here. The first one at Evian in France, on track, 3 times 1,600 meters, at about 3 minutes 35 seconds per kilometer, and then 2 times 1,000 meters at 3 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometer. Went really well, despite the travel, despite early in the morning, fantastic scene overlooking the lake. And I pushed hard and it worked out. It worked out very well. So really positive about this training. If you look at the laps as well, 3:36 the first session, then 3:34, then 3:34, then 3:30 and 3:27 the last kilometer. Well done. Second example, I love this one. I was on Lake Garda, a lot of traveling in October. This was for pleasure with the family. 30 kilometers, easy run. This is why I love running. Started in the dark, and then I saw the sunrise along the lake. It was magic. I mean, similar to the one I did in San Francisco. This is why I love running, for these little moments of joy. You enjoy being alive, you enjoy feeling your body, you enjoy running and being just one thing with nature, one thing with the world. Fantastic, simply fantastic. I could have gone on forever, to be honest, on this. Strong finish to the month. Easy run, 10 kilometers, and then 4 times 1 kilometer at 3:50, 1 kilometer at 3:40, and 1 kilometer at 4:50. Top training. I did it in Zurich. Excellent heart rate on the recovery phase, and I could have gone a couple of more. If you look at the laps, really happy. Well, first phase, of course, 4 minutes 40 seconds, so zone 2, but a brilliant zone 2, right? 140 beats per minute, very low beats per minute, super happy about that. And then 3:54, 3:40, and then this one is important, like the recovery at tempo run, similar to tempo run, 4 minutes and 13 seconds per kilometer, 161 beats per minute. So the capacity of my heart to slow down the beats per minute in the recovery phase, it's a really good signal. And you can see that again, like, 3:48, 3:35, and then 4:07, 160 beats per minute, and then again 3:48, 3:37, and then 462, and the final one 4:06, 162 beats per minute. Really good signals from this training. My body is really able to push hard and then recover fast. Super happy about this. November, 322 kilometers, high volume continues, and I clocked my first 100 plus kilometers week. Really proud of that. A couple of examples here. The first one on November 10th, easy run 31 kilometers to end the 102 kilometers week. Zone 2 perfect with challenging up and down, again in the hills up in Zurich. And I tested as well the Mountain Gel. Incredible gels. I was using before the Science in Sport, now I switched to the Mountain. They were recommended by a couple of friends and so on. Incredible gels. They really help, and they are super easy to digest. I love them and I can only recommend them. And then on November 23rd, first snow in Zurich, easy run, 13 kilometers into the wild. It was fun. I mean, challenging because of the snow, but I love going out running when it's snow. Again, it's magic, right? You are just one thing with the nature. You hear like the crick-crack of under your shoes. Finally, December 2024, 264 kilometers, half marathon personal best in Pisa on the 15th of December, 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 11 seconds. I crushed my old personal best that was 1 hour, 19 minutes and 31 seconds that I did in 2013, so 11 years ago in Rome. What I like about this personal best is that I approached that as a training. So if you look at the laps, I started quite conservative at the beginning, like 3:51 per kilometer, 3:45, 3:49, 3:44, and so on. And then I accelerated at the end. So if you look let's have a look actually at you can easily see how I started conservative and then I accelerated from probably 12 kilometers on with a strong finish, 3:34, 3:33, 3:24 were the last 200 meters. kilometers. I approached that as a test, like I wanted to test my condition. I didn't want to push hard a specific time, but I came out very strong. It's a good signal again for my goal, which is the marathon sub 2 hours and 50 minutes in April. And then ended the year with flu. I got sick across Christmas, so I had to stop for a full week with high temperature, antibiotics and so on. The whole family except my wife, she's the strongest one. Everyone got sick. But I came back, now I'm back into training and I'm ready to tackle 2025. So how did I smash 2 PRs at 42 years old? It came down to resilience and adaptability. When I hit a wall before Zurich, I stuck with it and I still managed to do my personal best. Then with new coaching and with 80-20 approach, I earned a new half marathon personal best in December. That change was crucial. And you can see that as well in the data. I love, being an engineer, I love data and I love when the data and the feeling are on the same page. So if you look at my training distribution from January till April, you can easily see that I leaned towards zone 3, zone 4, with less zone 1 and zone 2. But from June on, then, till the end of the year, when I switched, coach and I focused more on the 80-20, you clearly see the switch as well in the data with more time in zone 1, more time in zone 2, and this is paying off dividends. I couldn't think about doing a new PR in the half marathon, to be honest, if you were asking me in April or May, whatever. It's just the compound effect, right? 2024 has been a great and transformative year for me, and these are the 4 main learnings that I got out of this year. First, setting a goal isn't enough. You need a concrete plan, you need a vision, mission, you need objectives to work on in order to get to the goal. Second, trust the process. Marathon success is built on volume and consistent training. Third, adapt when necessary. Changing coach mid-year was risky, but turned out to be the right thing to do, so don't be afraid of changing if that is what you feel and what you need. Fourth, consistency in easy training, zone 2. My HR data shows the power of the 80-20. Those steady, easy runs compounds into big gains. Now I'm heading into 2025 with a clear objective. Sub 2 hours and 50 minutes marathon on the 6th of April in Milan. I'm ready to keep pushing and enjoy the journey. Drop a comment below with your biggest achievement in 2024 and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with my journey towards the sub 2 hours and 50 minutes marathon. Let's go!